Steve with the cigarette.
Bear Bryant died young because of that. And drinking. Live? Are we live? Are you playing the song? I don't hear it.
We stand strong, we stand tall. In this party, our spirit will not fall. The path is rocky and long. We march forward with hearts full of song.
What the heck?
Policies debated, votes cast. In the shadows, some doubts are fast. Yet the fire.
That new version.
All right.
Is that a new version of the song, baby?
And we are here for.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Good.
Not sure. For Rebel Republic, the best political talk show in all of Massachusetts, in all of New York, Connecticut, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Rhode Island, Delaware, New Jersey. It doesn't matter. You're either with us or you're against us. And I'm your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. And with me, as always, it's go time. He's ready to go. Coach Schumann.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, hello. Great. Thanks for the
sorry for being late.
The hair slicked back and you're all looking smooth. And then we have the return of the king himself, Tyler King. All he does is train, teach class, beat that ass, and then he pounds it vigorously into the ground afterwards.
Feverishly. I thought it was. Is it vigorously or feverishly?
I mix it up depending on how I feel. From Crown Sports and Entertainment. And he is here to offer his expert insight in political analysis as we go on to our second week of the war. Or is it really a war? We don't really know. But our second week of attacks on Iran with Israel. So, Dave, we had been talking about this before.
For Israel.
Right, for Israel, because we do everything to protect Israel. They are our number one asset, and we would lick the ass of Israel if they asked us to. Right, Tyler?
That makes no sense, Steve.
I mean, that's what you believe. I mean, if Israel said,
hold on.
United States lick our butt.
Let's back off for a second.
Yeah, like come on, let's go
to this part of it. So, let's just do the backdrop because we didn't have Tyler obviously on when we talked about it the first time.
No. He knows about it though.
I know he knows about it, but I'm saying the initial. I'm curious Tyler's thoughts. First on the initial attack with obviously, in my opinion, the intent of obviously regime change, right?
Absolutely,
100%.
Right. So what is your thoughts first on that before your opinion on whether you think Israel involved and all that kind of stuff, or driving to, what is your thoughts on the overall first attacking Iran with the intent of some form we don't know what that is yet, but some form of regime change
without getting approval from Congress too.
Well, no, you don't have to get approval for Congress to do these things.
I know, but I'm just saying that
he's not declaring war. Declaring war.
I agree.
Okay, good.
I agree.
So like you say, he's not declaring war. This was all executive order.
Well, it was
Like
emerging.
the thing that I've kind of thought about with this is, the United States has been dealing with this Iranian regime with interference, with outside interference. I won't get say much more than that, but I think Trump just wants some influence on what's going to happen next. At the end of the day, the Ayatollah was how old? In his 90s, right? 94, I think.
He had a big white beard, and yeah, I mean, he looked pretty
Well,
old. I don't
he
know
was
his exact.
94.
I
Yeah,
don't know his
Dave.
exact age. But
But he
yeah,
was like,
he was no
there's
spring
gonna be
chicken.
there's gonna be regime change pretty soon anyway.
Right.
So
And
I think Trump, yeah,
Well, it would have been passed down to whoever his next successor was. But like
I
this
think Trump like just wanted to break that chain,
which
and
he did.
there probably would have been some cat. What's the am I
They
allowed to swear on this one?
about 40.
you could I don't think swearing is a problem. I
No,
think it
swearing's not a problem. No.
as long I what do they say?
As long as it's not shocking content,
Is that what it said?
shocking
No,
or
you could shock. You
misinformation.
could be shocking. You can't. You can't
Oh,
like. You
It's
can't like.
misinformation. It
can't
was a
be exceedingly
misinformation.
oh whatever.
It was when I was saying Tyler
Anyway,
was
I was
named
about to
Gola.
say, either way, however the regime change happened, there would have been some fuckery by the United States and probably can I say it?
Israel? What is that?
Yes,
I know.
yes. I was wondering if
Here's what I think. First
there
of
would
all, I
have
mean,
some
obviously
fuckery
they have an
either way.
alliance. They
Like
have an alliance.
I think Trump was like, hey, this is gonna happen anyway. I want to make sure it happens during my presidency. And he just pulled the trigger.
I
Like I
agree
have a
with you.
different theory. Like I know what your theory is that you feel that Israel is having undue influence on
Oh,
the.
I think a hard wait, you
Well,
Dave,
say
I'm
Devere
gonna give you
Steve.
another theory. I'm gonna give you another theory that I'd like you to think about.
Oh, I'm thinking about all these.
Yeah, what do you think about the fact that because our normal allies, right? Our normal allies, which are Great Britain, France,
Yeah,
Germany, right?
yeah,
Our normal like bigger allies, right? And maybe I guess I mean I don't know if Italy agree. I mean they're allies, but they're not like. And then obviously Japan, but Japan is has its own issues with dealing with China, right? So that's a different
yeah,
point. But the ones that you would say are the nearest allies to this whole situation, and NATO, right?
yes,
Um, you have Poland, who's all for this. For this, you have I'm sure Ukraine, who's all for this, but you have Great Britain, France, Germany, who are pretty much not. This is kind of my theory. And if you were talking like old allies in recent
yes,
memory, they're allies. If you go back to like the 2000s, right? So
yeah.
without those as our like normal allies anymore, because they've been overrun and have to adhere to a lot of Islamic because they have larger Islamic populations, right?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So, so they would have a lot more, I would say, issues having a hard stance. So they're probably more left on this stuff.
Also, they're like
So my
with
theory
that,
is,
they're
without
still yeah.
Israel,
Well, the other thing I was gonna say is like
they have
those
no
governments are
allies
compromised.
other than Poland, Israel,
That's true,
and
Tyler.
Ukraine. Who are the allies for the United
Oh
States,
no,
quote
like
unquote?
Dave.
You
Yeah,
know.
no, I'm kind of with
That's
you on
my only
that.
thing I would like for you to think about when people say like, you know, they don't like how
Oh,
Israel's evolved. If you think about who
no,
really is our allies now, like who are our
yeah,
allies even?
no, like you have a point. Very agreed upon, and yeah, I mean,
Like we could be losing Western
But
Europe with
Tyler,
nothing to
you were
do with
right
us.
though.
oh, like I 100% agree with you. Though the policies that have kind of been implemented in those countries, it definitely gives their larger voting base a foothold. And
But
like,
Tyler, what you initially
It'd be
said was
harder to
correct.
pass through if they backed, like if you went in and you wanted to back United States, let's say, which they don't because the people that are in power are more to the left anyway. But
yeah,
let's
That's what
say
Tyler, yeah.
they had a conservative in power. I kind of heard like Nigel Farrar talk a little bit about this kind of stuff. Um, he's a real conservative guy in Britain, and it was like it was kind of like Western Europe is currently partially being overrun, and as they're partially being overrun, it hamstrings their ability to like go in and say, hey, yeah, if London's mayor is Islamic, right? It's just like New York City. I mean, New York City, that guy has a ton of power, whether we like it or not.
Well,
Yeah.
he almost got hit with IEDs yesterday. You recall. But Tyler made a good point. Tyler said that those governments that were once our allies have been changed, have been overrun.
I think that
Yeah.
is part of I think that's part of.
That's part of it.
I think it's one of these things like, I look at it like this, right? For a long time, Israel was an ally, but a smaller ally in the sense that, like, you had Britain, you have Germany, you have France, for a time we had Russia, right? Like, how they got out of the Cold War was more of it, but they're
Yeah.
always, you know, now all of these countries are all like Russia, China, very different values and now Western Europe is much more Islamic,
Yeah.
and which has created a more of a leftist kind of approach. So,
Uh,
we have Japan, but Japan is on the other side of the world. And even Australia has issues even now with some of that stuff. So I think what it's happened is you got South America, which is all in flux, obviously, with Venezuela and all stuff. So I think you get a situation. Mexico, Canada, they could care less really about anything other than themselves, and so they're not military powers. So you get I feel like a strange conundrum where you turn around. It's like when you go into a fight, right?
yeah.
And you have a bunch of friends that are like they're kind of your buddies, but they're just like your drinking buddies. You don't really know if they like you that much or not. And all of a sudden you turn around and
Shit goes
you have what
down.
it goes down. You got a small little pit bull that's standing there. And that's the only guy left with you. You know what I mean? And you're like, wait, where did those other big strong guys that were supposedly friends of mine? Where are they? So I think it's a little bit of that. I think that's part of it. Um, and I think Trump's looking around like, hey, I could use a few friends, So,
Yeah. Ooh.
and obviously Israel is like, hey, we'll do whatever, like if we could do things like this, they're obviously for it, right? Whether you agree with that part or not, I think I think Iran's a threat to a lot of the Arabic countries, and in general, and that's a big part of why the Arabic countries in the surrounding area have gone in with it, with the United States and Israel, because I think they're threatened as well. And then, but I think overall, my biggest concern is what does all this mean, right? That's my biggest concern because
Yeah.
like if you were to talk to like women, for example, a lot of women who are protective of their cubs, their children, right? They're
Mhm.
concerned, and they're even when they're conservative, that they still are concerned because they have children, and they think to themselves, "Are we going to war, right?
Yeah.
Russia or China, and is this good because of from that standpoint?" My concern on regime change, it really has less to. I think it needs to happen, but my biggest concern is what is our plan once now that they're getting toppled, right? How do we stop them from just putting another? Are we going to kill every time they put a new Ayatollah in, right? If like, is there a plan so we can get somebody? Is there someone there
I
on
have a
the?
feel. I'll
Yeah,
jump in.
yeah.
Dave.
Jump in, jump in.
I have a feeling that the United States and Israel are going to have like a undue amount of influence on what happens next.
Oh, I
Like they
agree with that.
just,
Yes.
I mean, we'll see what happens and see if the next leader that grabs power wants to just go all out war with the United States and Israel, or
I
are we
don't
going?
think they can at this point. I mean, we've decimated them. We have decimated Iran.
Yeah, that's the
it
other
would be
thing.
very, very difficult. What we don't know, the only thing we don't know, and I think that it could, well, at least I don't know. Maybe obviously the United States, the government may know this, but what we don't know is there a person on the Iranian side among the people, like the people, everyone was cheering, obviously, and it's
Yeah,
great. Um, among the people of Iran, is there someone from a quote unquote republic nation, democratic nation standpoint, meaning free, that they have that can become a suitable leader
We would
in
stand
the
yes,
up.
near term? Because when we go back to Afghanistan, which is always like, which that was like going back to Afghanistan, we went from there, then we went to target Iraq, and by targeting Iraq, we took our eye off the ball in Afghanistan. We just came in there, okay, boom, new regime change. Oh, all right, and then left Afghanistan, didn't finish the job there, right? And then all of a sudden, a whole new crop of crazies take over, and you have a problem again, right? So that's always the issue that throughout time, not just the United States, but all nations that have attempted to do these things without quote unquote having a military presence have had
yeah,
problems with, because they don't end up they end up in a problem where they haven't had a prepared leader ready to take over the nation. So that's the only thing I don't know. I don't know what the plan is for that standpoint. I'm
Yeah,
sure the plan, but I think that that's the one thing that is always and it could be an issue. And I don't know if the United States, Israel, and the Arab nations, if they're all collaborated on, like the
yeah,
those nations that are collaborating, do those Arabic nations, which my theory would be that the Arab nations, that United States and Israel's thought process would be, one of those Arab nations have to come up with somebody that might be suitable, or the Iranian people are not Arabic per se, they're Persian. That's a big thing that's
yeah,
different, right? Maybe they
yeah,
don't want the Arabic influence, and the Persians want to be able to take control themselves, like, back to, being a Persian country, quote unquote, right? Iran being a Persian country. And if that's the case, Persians right now are, because they were, um, a lot of them are not religious at all right now, like a secular probably. And then I would guess that the majority of them are probably Christian, I'm guessing. And then there used to, I don't think there's any Jewish people living in Iran anymore, but at one time there was. But so my guess is those people who are secular are probably originally Christians, is my guess. So are those is that what the Persians are going to move the nation towards? And if that's the case, then it would be probably the first nation of that sorts possibly in the Middle East, right? Since
yeah,
when Lebanon, you're Lebanese, right, Steve? So Lebanon was largely Christian. That was the majority.
yeah, it was.
And
yeah,
that changed when the
Yeah,
Islamic came in and all those wars and stuff, and that changed dramatically. Um,
yeah,
so so if that's the case, that would be, if I were to say, like, what is the intent, if you were to say, like, what's the intent, not just to make it a free nation and get rid of the Ayatollah, but also it
yeah,
could give it the opportunity for a Christian nation
well, I mean,
in the Middle East. That's my
uh,
thought process. I'm not, so you would almost say, like, from Israel's standpoint, which is quote unquote a Jewish nation. Obviously there's people of all religions live there, but a Jewish nation, they would probably want a Christian nation next door because it's going to be friendly to them. If you were to
yeah.
say, like,
No,
what is
agreed.
what is like what is the regime change? So now you would have a balancing, a much more of a balancing act in the Middle East, which obviously right now is primarily one sided. So
Well,
that's kind
Tyler,
of my theory. So I do obviously Israel's involved in this. So that's 100% true. I do think that there is protectionism for the United States, obviously, like for the
Mhm.
standpoint, like we can't have Iran shooting off nuclear weapons and or threatening to, like
of
that's
course.
craziness. Um,
But Tyler, I told you this. I had
Yeah.
read that Israel had gotten to the point where they were going to attack with
Yeah.
or without us. That is what I read. And Frank said I was wrong. Dave said I was wrong. I swear that I read that.
I don't
And
think
Okay.
Israel would ever go in without,
without our
unless.
blessing or
Well,
support.
let me rephrase. If Mamdani was in power, okay, let's say he was the president of the United States, Israel probably would go in on their own because they know obviously the United States is now
Yeah.
a Muslim
Well,
nation.
Donnie won't let
So
you
at that
shovel
point,
snow. So I doubt
all
he's
right,
Yeah.
going to let you
and
go to
at
war.
that point, I might be living in South America at that point in the new Venezuela.
But yeah, I mean, Israel allegedly was going to go in on their own, but
Oh,
Trump had
fucking
said
Dave.
that it was going to be emergent, that nuclear weapons were going to be obtained or possible
Hey,
by Iran. By
that's
Iran.
been the line for like we were talking about earlier
I
today.
know
That's
they've
been the
always said
line
it.
since the 80s.
I know,
Wait,
but apparently
what was the line since the '80s? Say it again. I'm sorry.
that Iran was going to
That,
have nuclear
that
capability.
they're
Uh,
about to get nuclear power. That's been
well,
like the battle
well,
cry.
we took
They've been
out a good
about
amount.
to get they've been about to get nuclear capabilities for about the last 25, 30 years.
Well, the biggest problem was Biden gave them all their money back.
Well, that's the thing.
So
Biden,
Biden is an
Obama.
idiot, gave them all their money back, and
What
now you created a possible threat from a regime standpoint. Now, does Iran threaten this
I
all the
still okay.
time?
I still to this day don't understand why Biden and Obama gave Iran all that money.
Because they didn't want to tangle with them. They didn't want to go to war. They kept doing treaties. They kept bartering with them. They
Uh,
kept peace talks
well,
with them,
no,
and it went
no,
nowhere.
yeah, but you could have did that without giving them money.
No,
I think
you're right.
that
You're right.
I so I'll give the flip part of the regime thing, right? So it's funny how the world is now. So now it used to be, I think it used to be that um Democrats used to feel they were aligned with Israel more, I think. And that it's
Oh
flipped.
yes,
It's flipped
yes,
now, where obviously Republicans, quote unquote, are probably more would be more supportive of it, but
Uh,
and Democrats are not supportive of it, um, as
no,
a whole.
no, no.
So what I think is interesting is that if you go, so what flipped is Biden and not Biden, but Biden and Obama
uh-huh.
flipped it the other way, meaning
Yeah,
we're no longer um, just supporting Israel. We're supporting these Arab nations and giving them the need because we want to make sure we don't get cut off from oil or piss off Russia, right? And
absolutely.
China, Russia/China, whatever. And so I thought that was cowardice and a major mistake. And all that did was create a situation where Trump has to undo what they did,
Exactly.
right? Similar to Venezuela too, I guess.
Yeah,
Different. Venezuela has nothing to do with, to me, like anything in the Middle East. It has to do with really uh, uh, their
Oil
own
resources.
their resources and the threats
Or
to run, well, because they supply Russia and China, right? So
yeah.
I think Trump, I you know,
Thing is Russia,
I don't
as
know if
far as
he's independently brilliant to have figured this out, But if he cut, and this is what the plan was, or Rubio, I don't know, or they had Israel involved in this. But I do think that if this was the plan and it worked, it was brilliant. I don't know if people may not agree with attacking the countries. I understand that, even though I agree, I think it was the right move. But so by taking out Maduro, that oil that would have supplied China and Russia basically and created more of a threat, who would have then given that money, quote unquote, to maybe Iran or any other countries that could be a threat to us, now is no longer supplied to them. Iran, who also is the next supplier of these kind of things to China and Russia and as their source, they now cut off a second power source to those countries who are quote unquote superpowers. And so what's
Which
happened to them is
makes them have to come
the
on their
cost is
knees.
skyrocket. Everything, not just because oil doesn't just affect oil.
No,
It affects food. It affects the cost of
Yeah.
food. It affects the cost of
it's a
transportation.
domino effect.
It's a domino effect that affects everything, just like it affected us.
Mhm.
It affects everything you do in everyday life, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
everything has to be
Valid.
transported.
But
So-
Dave, it was Caroline Levitt. She the speaker,
Yes,
the one
yeah,
that
yeah,
comes
yeah,
out and
yeah.
talks. She said that anything less than unconditional surrender from Iran was all that they were going to accept. They want unconditional surrender, and they are taking nothing less. They are going to keep this war going until Iran unconditionally surrenders.
Iran
then-
doesn't have the resources to fight it.
No, fuck. Did you see the guy in power today speaking? He looked like somebody's grandfather who had Alzheimer's. They had him on TV. He was talking. He was like, he didn't know what the hell was going on.
Now,
Well,
I don't
my
even know
other
how he
thought
has power.
process is if you want to get Western Europe to go back to some level of power of where it was, you cannot, if you cut off the influence which starts in the Middle East from them, right? With the growth of Islam and the spread of it, in order to, these are all just holy wars that have gone on since the beginning of time. Okay,
That's what it comes down to. Yeah.
right? And why? And I
Absolutely.
mean, holy wars. Like in old days, it really was just religion, quote unquote. It's not really just religion anymore. It's a holy war in the sense that yes, Islamic values of what they want to have happen are so different from our values
They want it spreading.
that it would if it's widespread as fast as it did for Europe and did the same thing in the United States,
In
then
several areas. Yeah.
I mean, listen,
Well, like with that to that fact, look at New York City right now.
No, New York City. Like
New York
Mamdani had
City,
IEDs
New York City,
thrown at his
Minnesota,
house.
Minnesota. Like,
Dave, you saw that right? Sunday,
what's that?
Mamdani, there were IED threats at his house. They were going to throw IEDs at him.
Who was going to throw IEDs at him?
There were IEDs that were going to be thrown at Mamdani's house. At the
From
mayor's.
who?
I don't know exactly from who.
From the United States?
From residents in New York City, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I'm trying to understand who you say was
like
making
yeah.
this threat.
I think I might have seen something about.
It was on the
100%
news
sure.
all day Sunday. It was hilarious.
But something like they just got like the police like seized these
bag, yeah.
guys had some sort of like homemade or like rigged IEDs.
Bombs, yeah.
Yes. And
The
they
police is
stopped
that
them.
just the video where the police tackle the guy?
Yeah, it was the New York City Police Department said IEDs were thrown during a protest outside Mamdani's home with two men taken into custody. And the statement came Sunday, a day after the incident outside the mayor's residence.
Yeah, like I heard about this, but it didn't get a lot of
national
like
play.
carry.
No,
I
Yeah,
saw
exactly.
the video. I didn't understand exactly what had happened though.
Yeah, it was led by activist Jake Lang, who clashed with counter protesters, and NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch said a preliminary analysis has found that the item thrown by a man at the protest was not a hoax device or a smoke bomb. It is, in fact, an IED that could have caused serious injury or death. So Mamdani was getting IEDs thrown at him. He was about to get IEDs thrown at
Home,
his place of
like,
residence.
yeah, it was
So
probably like a homemade like bombs with like improvised
well,
shrapnel.
it's a guy. I mean, I know he hasn't been in office very long, but
Yeah.
he has not come through on the campaign promises that he's made.
No,
So was it a leftist
no shit.
threatening him, or a person on
It,
the right?
it was an anti-Muslim. It was an anti-Muslim person.
All right. So it was a conservative that was coming
Yeah,
out.
it said it was two far right anti-Muslim demonstrators
Got
led
it.
by activist Jake Lang,
Lang.
Okay.
who did it, and it was indeed an IED.
That's my.
I don't
See,
know
so
if that counts as an IED, but or actually, yeah, by
Well, they
definition,
said it
does.
was a legit
By
IED.
definition, improvised explosive device. Yes.
It was examined. It was a legit IED. So this is in response, largely. We saw the shooting in Austin. Dave, remember last week? The guy with the Free Iran shirt on or whatever, the Muslim shirt on, he shot up. It was a shooting in Austin because of
Yeah.
what's going on. I mean,
Yeah.
we have gone on a major offensive against
I
Iran.
think the biggest thing that I think what you have here is this to me is like this. I look at it like
and the
this,
death toll's
okay?
over 1,000 right now.
In Iran
Yeah,
of Iranian
leaders, people.
leaders.
Yeah, not citizens.
It's
I would hope,
leaders,
but
right?
Yeah,
I'm sure there's a few citizens in there, but yeah.
I'm sure there probably is too.
Yeah. I'm sure it's inevitable you're going to get a few citizens, but and those are sad, obviously. It's
And we lost 8 servicemen, which is also
which is sad too. I think that the most difficult thing is, in I don't know what other answer there is other than I feel like we fight on this stuff ideologically, like you know, places like Minnesota and New York City now, I guess they want to have these they want to turn like New York City into like these crazy areas like you see in Sweden, right? So I don't think that's a good thing. I think I honestly, to me, it really is like, do we want our world, which is a republic, which is what America is?
republic,
Yes.
not a
Do we want,
democracy, a republic.
right? Do we want a republic, which is what we want? Most Americans, for the most part, well, at least middle to conservative, I would guess, want. But there's a huge amount of people that want, on the left, that want a communist socialist environment.
Yeah,
and
Frank said they all want hugs every once in a
But
while.
And then there's
what
a
is-
few people on the far right. So here's my thing. I'm obviously pro-Israel, right? I know what Tyler's stance is. That he believes that Israel's behind different things, right? My stance kind of is this:
But I get why now.
if you think that
we sure as shit needed Israel.
If Israel's not there, and now that's all Arabic world. Okay, let's take Israel. Let's just say okay, we're not going to support Israel. Whatever happens, happens. quote unquote.
Yeah,
That's an that's immediately an all-out brick world, right?
Yes.
If,
Yeah, like
okay, and
no,
then it
like
goes through Europe. Then it goes through Europe,
And it's been
all the
spreading
way
through
through Europe,
Europe.
because
Yes.
Poland is a wall there. Poland, okay, which is funny. I find a lot of this stuff like interesting. I like how things work because during World War II,
yeah,
Poland was very anti-Jew. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yeah.
Right? They were part. Obviously, a lot of the camps were there. But
The death
what's
camps were
so
there. Yeah.
interesting is, in an attempt, they want to make sure their country stays Polish. You know what I'm saying? They want to make sure their
yeah,
country stays Polish and doesn't get infiltrated with a higher amount of Islamic. They are now pro-Israel because it protects them. Okay, it
yeah,
has nothing to do whether they like Israel or not. You know, I don't know whether they do or
No,
they,
but it
but
protects
because it
them.
protects them. And so I view it from that standpoint, because then you just get a clean sweep. You push through Turkey, which is an easy one, obviously, to have be all Muslim
And you're right
eventually.
there.
yeah,
And then you're through
You
Greece and
infiltrate Central
Poland,
Europe.
right?
Yeah.
So right, because you have and so it's not, look, I know people that are Islamic that are really nice people. I have nothing as far as the individual person. I have nothing against the individual Islamic person. Okay. It's the ideology of what the
Of the
extreme
Quran and the
extreme
religion.
levels
Yes.
are going to
The
push through.
yeah,
fundamentalists.
Who wins? Like, who
The
wins
fundamentalists.
athletically in any battle, right? In an athletic battle, in most situations,
Yeah.
right? Tyler is 6'6", a man 5'8" comes up to Tyler, normal guy, and threatens to attack him in a fight. Tyler, more than likely, unless this guy is like a wrestling guru, okay, is gonna have a big problem with Tyler, because Tyler's at the extreme, incredibly large, athletic, strong, all these things. So at the extremes, people, just like athletically, it's such a high level. Who do people grab? Who do you want on your team? A really great athlete that can run and jump, right? Well, at the extremes, if you're part of an Islamic organization, at the extremes, the most dangerous person and powerful person who will take charge and run the country the way with an iron fist, make sure we put in Sharia law, is gonna be an extreme person.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
a
Which is
normal guy that
Iran.
we would hang out with that might be Islamic, nice guy, he's not. He might be all for that guy, but he's not going to be the guy
Well, it
that's going to be like,
doesn't
well, we should be nice
transition.
to everybody, right?
It doesn't
Because
transition into the values of their life. It's their
right,
religion.
and
That's
I
what
view the
separates them
world.
between
I view the
church and
world
state.
until the United States came into existence, pretty much as a world
It
where
was secular. Yeah.
as the world that was the biggest, cruelest, meanest person who
Yeah.
had great brains and
It was all
intelligence.
dictators.
yeah,
Yes. All kings and
You have to be
dictators.
smart, obviously.
Yep.
Who is also intelligent, would come to power.
Caligula.
They would come
Napoleon.
to power because who is going to challenge the guy? Like, if I'm willing to kill at all costs, and this
Off
guy
with their head.
hesitates, the guy who's
Yes.
willing to kill at all costs is willing to win. And
yeah,
people
Off with
feel
their head.
threatened by those guys. So if you're the weaker people, so they're going to follow them and help him kill, right? So that's how
Exactly.
you rise to the top. And the
mhm,
Islamic extreme nations, on that standpoint, that's what happens. Okay, that's what
yeah,
happens in a lot of these extreme organizations. And
okay,
so without the United States being able to do that, you could have a sweep right through Western Europe. And if Western Europe becomes all
Falls.
Islamic,
Yeah.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
right across the
the
Oh,
ocean.
look
United
at
States is next. Now it's
That's
not.
why
It's not that.
Tyler was right.
Yeah.
Tyler was right. Tyler
So
said
that's
that we catered to Israel. There's a reason
yeah.
we catered to Israel.
there is, if that's the word you could use. Like, I don't know if I would use that word, but like I would say
I
that.
mean, it's pretty close, Dave.
But I use this. I say this. If
Well-
Poland, who probably is not, I would not say normally, would probably be like, oh, that would be
We're not
Israel's
catering to
friend.
Poland. Yeah.
People want to protect their country. Okay.
Yeah.
They don't want their country to become something that it was not founded on.
Yeah.
Right. So
Absolutely.
And
Which
if
would be
and if that
Islam.
did happen, like if it did infiltrate the United States, what would happen is they would eventually
And
democratically,
it started
just like
to.
New York City,
It started
democratically
to.
elected mayor would
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
become a democratically elected president, and
Yeah.
then
It
all of us, if we don't get in line, would have to
are
be like,
threatened.
at some point you would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that,
At some point, it may not be 5 years, it may be 10 years, but at some point you would be. And that there would be no United States. I would probably have to go move to like
that is why
they probably
Tyler
would kill
was
me
right.
anyway right away. So
Tyler was right. Tyler said that we somewhat kowtowed to Israel because they provided us with this valuable intelligence and they assisted us in systematically destroying one of our top enemies, Iran. He was right.
Iran hates us.
They were our biggest
So
threat in the Middle East.
For the most
they
part, yeah. Actually, no, they
well
are.
now they are because yes, absolutely.
They
I mean,
no, they've all
Saudi
they
came around, and yeah, Lebanon, Syria. I mean,
Now
Iran was
so the
the
other part
toughest.
then is okay. Now the counterpart of this is when Russia and China, do they have the capability? Because there's like Russia said, Putin said something about the United States today. I read
Oh,
it quickly, but
he don't give a
I
fuck.
might have to pull it up. But like he said something that something like there will be retribution or something. I don't think Putin has. I think Ukraine has crippled Russia's defenses so much because the war's going on so long that I
yeah.
don't think Russia can do anything. Now, China, I don't know. I don't know enough about what China's.
They will stay out. There's
Oh,
no
They can
point for
throw a
them to
lot
get
of people at
involved.
it, I guess.
There's
I feel like that there was a story about China having a like exercise or an aircraft carrier or two
Yes, I saw that.
In the Gulf
I saw them
in the Persian
doing
Gulf.
exercise.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and it's
So
supposedly a destroyer. A
it
destroyer was in the
see
Gulf.
it seems like there's a lot of posturing going around on all sides.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way for Iran to salvage what has happened to them. They're not coming back from this.
I
It
mean,
all depends on us finishing it off.
I actually liked what Dave said earlier about the Persians. If they have a political leader that will kind of emerge, I think that would be very interesting and actually
But it
a
would
very
still be
it'd be a
a
very attractive
dictatorship.
option for the United States,
You're still
Israel
looking at a
coalition, whatever
dictatorship,
we
though.
want. What
Well, what if
maybe?
Iran? What if the Persian people, which is the majority of Iranians,
Yeah.
which is really
Okay.
the minority that it's actually the minority that's in power there. It's actually
Right
the
now,
Yeah.
minority.
yeah. Right
Okay.
now, yeah.
So if the Persians took power,
Yeah.
and so then you would have Iran as an ally,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure.
almost like what happened with Japan, who was an enemy, and Germany, who was an enemy, who became a ally. My biggest like I feel like the country that disappoints me is Great Britain the most. Like
Why?
Germany has a history of going back and forth in
They're cucks.
in the world.
Yeah,
They've been with
Great
us, they're
Britain,
against us, they're
The
with us,
British
they're against
the
us.
British leaders
They're
have
cucks. They're
failed
cucks.
the people.
Yes.
All the British leaders have failed the people.
Yeah, they
From
just
all the way
want
up and
to,
down, from the monarchy to the elected government, they have completely let down their people.
they just want to
So,
have weddings and this and
well,
that.
no, I'm not even talking
They
about
ain't gonna
that.
fight.
I'm
They're not
talking
gonna fight
about
anymore.
I'm talking about what they've let happen as far as the influx of
Yeah.
foreigners, most namely people from, as Dave said, Islamic countries.
Look at
Just
Scott.
look at London, just look at the rise in
Yeah.
crime, look at the rise in areas with Sharia law. Like that's a thing in Great
Like
Britain.
50
So
counties with it or something. 50
yeah,
cities or whatever they call it. I don't know what they call it there, but
Provinces, whatever.
provinces, parishes. I don't know. No, parishes is French. Yeah, I guess it's maybe provinces. But yeah, it's you're 100% right. So and that's like
Ugh.
a huge. See, the United States was immune to all of that for
Yeah.
Yeah,
basically.
because
How long
we
have
have
we
a
been around?
buffer.
250 years. We've basically been immune to it.
We have a buffer.
240 years because we're across the water.
Correct.
Yeah. Now
We
the
have a buffer.
information age, like technology's just different now. So it's been able to spread to the mainstream.
And then, Dave, as the war in Iran heats up, we are starting to see Israel intensifying its strikes on Hezbollah in
Yeah. Well,
Lebanon,
see,
tying
again,
into the
this goes
border
to my whole
conflict.
theory.
Yeah.
Lebanon was a Christian nation, okay?
Yep.
Taken
Yeah.
over. You used to be a minority group, which that took it over and took power. But I don't know now. Now it probably is more, at least even. I think it's more Muslim than it is Christian now. But um, yeah, you take out Hezbollah, you're not going to get a Christian dominant area there. There's not as many Lebanese have moved to America and other places around France and other
No, and
places.
they showed
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
vacating. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
vacated that area, but maybe you get a possible middle of the road leader there. But Hezbollah is you take down Iran, the rest of these other areas, those guys are going to get taken out. Like
Iran
Yeah.
is cutting off the head of the snake.
Iran
the
funds
bottom
these
line.
people.
Yeah.
They fund them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It cuts
I
They
mean,
have
off
no
the head of the
money.
valid
They
snake.
can't
point.
do anything.
It cuts off the head of the
Valid
snake.
point.
It
And
cuts
like,
off the head of the snake.
Otherwise, you're just fighting little skirmishes with your neighbor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's a super valid point in that it's that part of it is downstream by the left from leftist outlets. Like that is a real domino, real effect will have on aggression towards our allies in the Middle East. It
But
will
Tyler,
yeah.
you have been outspoken that we kowtow, cater to Israel.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same now?
I mean,
We
just
still do.
no,
We still do, but they
just
earn their
because
keep.
just because in the end, no, what I'm saying is just because in the end we're demonstrating that it could have a positive overall effect, which I actually do like, but I mean,
you're concerned around.
I
Your
also,
concern is the bigger.
listen,
You're concerned
I,
that Netanyahu. See,
yeah,
like I
like
always think
that's,
about
yeah, I think you're gonna say it. Yeah, go ahead.
Netanyahu. Okay, look, Putin was before going to Russia first, but Putin was what was he before he became the leader of Russia? Okay, he was essentially in their what they call it, the SS, their CIA, whatever they call their
Yeah,
CIA.
yeah,
Oh, yes.
yeah.
Right.
Oh shoot, yeah, I'm trying to remember what they call it. Shoot.
He's
Oh,
brilliant, though. I'm sure
yeah. Oh,
he's brilliant. He's probably
yeah.
crazy. Okay.
Well, he hasn't been able to defeat
Bibi
Ukraine in
Netanyahu.
4
This is what
years.
Tyler concerns Tyler. To me, if I were someone that was like, obviously I'm pro Israel, but if I was someone that was against Israel, I would think to myself, Bibi Netanyahu was someone that was one of those, much like Putin. He was part of the what do they call the you name the group.
Mossad.
Yeah, he was part of it, and he was a brilliant intelligence guy, a brilliant fighter and leader, right? Like he's the guy. His brother was
Yeah.
killed. I read a good part of his book. His brother was killed in this fight where where they end up taking down in an Arabic operation. His brother was killed in an operation. He was the one who was led the group that took a vengeance on the killer. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah,
group.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So he's obviously
And like that's like
similar to
kind of been
Putin in
like the
that he's brilliant. He's brilliant,
yeah.
and he knows how to
Well, he
Uh,
plays politics well.
He knows how to play politics. He's very smart. And so
Yeah.
people who are against Israel, I would say they're worried because Bibi Netanyahu knows a lot of things, right? Bibi Netanyahu lived the actual fight. Like he wasn't a guy who was on the side. He
Oh,
was
he was a spy. Yeah. Yes.
yeah, he was in the fight. He understands how the world works, similar to Putin. He understands how the intelligence world works, right? And
Yeah.
they've been able, and that's part of what creates their success. I look at when I look at his story, I think to myself that he is obviously incredibly smart, right? He he's a guy that if he's with you, he'll do whatever you need. That's who he is, right? Um, if you're indifferent, he's a very strong personality. So I think Trump is a good ally and person to talk with him because he respects Trump. Okay,
He
he
does.
respects Trump. The people who are against Israel probably say they think Phoebe manipulates Trump, right? If am I correct in that argument? Is like if the people who are on the opposite side of it, is that what you would
I
say?
think
Like,
he very much influences Trump.
okay, so there you go.
Really?
I think.
So I think
Yes.
I
You
think
think Trump could be
I think they're
manipulated?
contemporaries. This is the
I
difference of
mean,
viewpoint. I think they're contemporaries.
listen.
He
I
thinks he influences.
have to see how this plays out, but I think BB has something on
Oh,
Trump
Christy,
or
I
someone
hate you.
close to Trump.
You think he
That's
has
what
something on who?
Trump
He
or
has
someone
something
close to
on. He
Trump
thinks he has something on Trump, and
or someone close to
Tyler
Trump.
equates this to the Epstein files. He
No, I
thinks that.
don't.
Oh,
I
you
just
don't?
think.
Well, the
I
Epstein
mean,
file, the whole thing just came out. I mean, they tried to grill. They actually asked Clinton
Both of
if
them.
Trump, and he said no.
Yeah.
yeah, I
Of
know.
course.
I
Of
know.
course.
So I
Of
mean,
course.
if anybody was going to be against, of course, Tyler's theory would be that the Mossad influenced Clinton to say no.
Tyler, why do you think
Listen,
that,
okay, Dave. Dave, did you watch Bill Clinton's testimony?
I
or
watched part
Hillary's?
of it. He's shitting his pants in there, but he
Did you see the? Oh, there's a.
Hillary stormed off, and
Hillary. Well,
I'm talking. Yes, you did. I'm talking more about just certain moments when they're getting real deep. The reactions by both Hillary and Bill to
yeah,
some of the questions and images and files they looked at.
presented. Yes, 100%.
Like,
But
Dave, you should look this up. This is
I'm gonna look it up. I'll look it up.
twisted. It's
Tyler,
right. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you,
Yes.
why do you think the Dems, the
Yeah.
snowflakes,
Okay.
side with Iran and their proxies throughout this entire process? You know, you're hearing like Jane Fonda coming out
Oh,
and calling Trump a war criminal. All these idiots coming out and
I
attacking
would
Trump
say.
from the
I
left.
would say. No, I wouldn't say so much that they're backing Iran. I think it's more that they're just opposing Trump.
Exactly. Personally, they're opposing Trump and what he did.
It's what they
100%.
did. It's what that crowd does. Doesn't really, honestly, it doesn't really mean anything. Does it matter? Do these
No,
people have
no,
influence? Then
they
why do we
do. Some
care?
do.
they definitely have
It
influence.
just irritates me. It just
Oh, I
irritates me
mean,
I
that
think they have influence, though.
they sit in their ivory
of course they
tower
do.
and they make movies and they think they are political analysts. Like, suck my
Yeah, that happens all the time.
really?
Like,
You
De
know who these
Niro,
people
De
are to
Niro,
me.
listen.
Yeah.
Like, did De Niro really think about Trump and sitting there with his trans daughter? Like, come on, bro. Come on. Like, it's
No.
like, what's the point of this? Like, that's my point. Like, who cares? Like, do
So
we? It's
no,
not
I
like
agree.
it's not like Glenn Beck or Tucker Carlson or like honestly, I have no analysts on the left really, but one of the analysts from CNBC or MSNBC.
MSNBC.
I meant MSNBC or CNN. Like
Yeah.
they're silly people. Do we care?
Well, let me ask you this. Everything is successful. Trump goes through. Iran surrenders unconditionally.
Yeah.
Does Netanyahu owe him a statue?
No.
No.
Netanyahu will
You will
erect a
not give Trump
statue. No, he'll erect a statue of himself.
Okay. Okay. All right. I agree.
Yeah. Of course you do.
I will tell you this. Netanyahu is as tough as nails as they come. Because in his own country, half the country is against him in Israel. So he does what he thinks protects the people, even if they don't know how to protect themselves. But that's my. But I listen. I've read. His book is interesting. I read. It's enormous.
Yeah.
I can't finish the whole thing. It's too big. I
How many
have
pages?
to.
How many pages is it?
It's like this.
It's ungodly.
No, but how many pages is it though?
It must be like 1,000.
Thousands. Yes.
It's written about him.
It's thicker than the Bible.
It is. It goes into
The
everything.
New and Old Testament.
It is very interesting because you learn, and I haven't read the whole thing. I honestly, I don't think I could ever finish the whole thing, but because there's a lot of stuff that like is
Like you feel like you're
is
loading your mind with useless
It's
information.
opinion.
yes, a lot
it's
like
opinionated.
it's
a lot of
backdrop
opinions.
and stuff with Israel that like I would unless I I don't live in Israel, I don't know some of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
there's stuff that is really beyond things I really know about, like daily
I got
life.
you. Yeah,
But
no, I got it.
Tyler,
but what was interesting, I thought what was very interesting is just kind of the backdrop, and then just kind of what formed how he thinks about
Okay,
it.
I got you. No,
You know what I mean?
Tyler,
no, I understand what you're saying. I get that perspective.
It's worth skimming through. There's no way you're like
Steve,
I can't finish. It's worth
Steve, go
skimming
ahead.
because it's interesting to learn how, like, just like I've read a lot of stuff on Trump. Like
I wanted to know,
I like to
Tyler.
know what people are like.
Trump
Yeah.
claims
Yeah.
Iran is running out of missiles, and the U.S. vows to finish this fight that we quote unquote did not start. And basically, he says that they're out of ammo. Is this Trump being a genius, or is this Iranian incompetence?
I think I don't know if they're running on missiles. I am not an expert on what Iran's estimated missile stockpile is. I've seen it a
We've
couple
attacked
times
several of them.
over the
Yes.
years. Yeah, like you say, we attacked some of those silos.
We have, yes.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So,
And Israel attacked their leaders. Yes.
okay, so we probably we've definitely compromised to some extent their offensive and defensive capabilities then. So, I mean, like they're going to run out of resources before we do by a long shot. So, I mean, I think at some
Exactly.
point, if Trump
Take
can
Greenland
install,
next.
if Trump can install or influence the favorable government to go forward, that's pretty much what he'll do.
And that's exactly why going to Congress, declaring war, we would have lost the element of surprise, and we would have not done as much damage as we
Right.
have in the last 2 weeks
Oh,
had we gone through the proper channels. So I think that he made the right call. He's
Yeah,
going to get an unconditional surrender because I don't even know who's left. Like I said, the guy that they put up there on TV as the leader looks like a grandfather from someone's nursing home.
Well, okay,
Like-
Steve, you should have looked up who that is, but okay.
I mean, I didn't know who it was. That's what I'm saying. They showed him on TV. They said, "Oh, this is the guy
Okay.
in charge." Like, I mean, I couldn't imagine in the United States if they killed 40 leaders. Like, who would it be down to? Would it be down to the congressman of New Orleans? I mean, that's running the country. I mean, that's what's crazy about it. So It's
Okay, yeah.
unbelievable. And the other question that came up, what are your thoughts if this had played out, or if the situation were about to occur and Kamala Harris were in
Ha!
Oh,
charge?
There would be no United States.
Tyler?
I mean, we wouldn't be at war right now. We wouldn't have, or we
We'd
wouldn't
be
have.
giving him money or a treaty or something.
I have.
Yeah.
We'd
I
have
mean,
no
who
idea
We
would
what to
really
probably
do.
be in
wouldn't be at war
charge?
right now. No, but we
No,
probably would. We would just live under constant doom and gloom.
All right.
I believe things would be much worse in places like Minnesota, in New
Yeah.
York
Oh,
right
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe
if
we would
Kamala,
be. Maybe we would already be in a lot of trouble.
I
We
yes, very
probably
much so,
would be.
Dave.
I agree with
Most,
that.
yeah,
We probably would have been
actually, Dave,
bombed.
things would be very different right now. So hey, we're lucky.
So let's switch gears. They had the quote unquote sports summit, saving college sports, over the weekend.
Uh-huh.
And it was, people of influence, coaches, whatever, who came and they met with Trump. And I called it basically like Seinfeld, the airing of grievances. It was Festivus. Everyone fucking, everyone
That's pretty good.
complained. Everyone
Yeah.
aired their grievances. Nobody really provided any solutions other
Uh-huh.
than
Be right back. I'm
negotiating,
listening.
other than
Go.
negotiating television rights
Yeah.
as a whole, as 136 Division One FBS universities, and then it would have a trickle down effect. People complained, about the rising costs, tuition, student fees. Everything is going to fund this. There's an arms race going on at the universities for facilities, weight rooms, indoor practice facilities, and whatnot, and paying players. And they want to establish not a limit, but they want to establish transparency as to what players are being paid with their rev share agreements, because many schools were over the $20 million cap that the NCAA set last year, but there was no way to really regulate it. The NCAA didn't have the resources to regulate it. And really, it was state by state. Like you said, Dave, it's 50 states. They all have different rules, different laws. And the NCAA doesn't have the personnel to go in there. And I don't even think it's lawful to punish them. So they had this summit, and all it led to was, okay, we're going to talk further about it and try to come to some sort of agreement. And it's clear that 5 years from now, this isn't going to last. I mean, it's the model is not sustainable the way it is. What were your thoughts on the quote unquote sports summit? And do you think any resolution will come this year, next year, the year after? Is there a resolution?
Is that posed to me first? Or?
Yeah, it was you, Dave. I said Dave.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed.
I said Dave. I said Dave. Yes. Yeah. I know you're ignoring me.
I think it's a very difficult situation.
It's not. It's not a very difficult situation.
It's not difficult.
No, not at all.
Make them employees is what you said earlier today.
Make them employees. Make them collectively bargain. Problem solved. That they are fighting tooth and fucking nail because they don't want to make student athletes employees of the university, which basically
that's actually very, very, very valid.
Means the rev share agreements, the contract they're printed on, isn't worth the toilet paper I have upstairs to wipe my ass. And is why someone like Menza, the quarterback from Duke, can leave at the 12th hour and go to Miami. Because the contract, they had settlement talks, nothing really came of it, and they basically let him out of the deal. There is a fight going on with the defensive end at Georgia. Georgia's suing him. But again, you're seeing guys transferring 3 and 4 times. You're seeing guys getting 5th, 6th, 7th years of eligibility. There's a guy from Montana that got a 9th year of eligibility. When is the madness going to stop? And it was Joe D said it was going to take some massive scandal to make significant change. Do you believe that it's going to take a scandal? I mean, we're already seeing gambling prevalent everywhere. Gambling's all over the place. Players are getting caught. What more? Dave.
I think the only thing that would change is the thing that could change it is if a big university has a problem where they cut almost everything. That would change. That might change.
Yeah, which they technically can't do because of Title IX. And Title IX is now suing over fair payment because men's collegiate athletes are being paid more than women college athletes.
A court decision can sue.
A what?
You said Title IX is suing. Title IX is a court case.
No, I mean a group is suing because of Title IX.
Yes, exactly.
A group of people are suing because they're saying that rev share and NIL is violating Title IX because the women athletes are not being paid the same.
I mean, the entire situation from top to bottom was handled so poorly from the get-go.
Exactly.
I mean, it was handled poorly when we're in school, Steve. This has just been the NCAA and the universities just holding on tooth and nail to one of their biggest cash cows.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, I mean, right now, one of the biggest cash cows is
the television revenue. Yes.
Exactly what I was about to say. So what Dave has alluded to, if the universities made their employees and they started a players union, the players union would sue for a piece of the TV rights. So in essence, this was what the university did to pacify all the critics and the student athletes. So at least some of them were getting paid. Money was being bread was being broken in a big way, but it's now gotten, like as Dave said, what the media's about, it's gotten unsustainable, or maybe it's not even unsustainable, that just none of the university presidents are getting super rich anymore, and that could also be part of the problem. So everyone's kind of been in it for themselves, the players, the universities, the coaches. Like college football now, it's just a sport
I don't like college football.
It's a sport of hired guns.
It's selfishness. They're mercenaries.
Yeah, that was the word I was
They're all
looking for.
fucking mercenaries.
It's a bunch of mercenaries running wild right now. And there will be a big scandal at one of the major universities, and that who the NCAA can they even step in rather, and issue a death penalty anymore? Like authorities just got all out of whack. So I think they do need some sort of collective bargaining, something along those lines, to just kind of right the ship, because it's been kind of a disaster so far.
And Dave, you brought this up earlier, and I don't know this. What are the issues with private equity firms being involved? And then we also talked about maybe Ohio State Athletics becomes a publicly traded company and sells stock. I mean, those are realistic things that could happen. But what is the problem with private?
What's the downside of that? The downside of
they're
private
going to want their money, right?
The downside of private equity is,
which I still don't know what that means, but okay.
Well, the downside of it is with them having ownership of it, they're going to siphon profits, right?
Yes.
So if they ever pull their attention away from it and move on to a new investment, that university is left with the same
So-
facility for 30 years. Type
So
of
they
deal.
can pull out, you're saying, at any time?
Well,
a
I'm
private
saying
equity?
they siphon if they siphon the money out,
Right.
right? If you take the money and you take all the profits and you siphon that out, you get no new facility. You don't get new facilities every 10 years or 5 years.
Yeah.
Right. Which
So-
Utah agreed to. Utah is with a private equity firm. They gave up, I think, 25% of
Yeah.
revenue to get billions of dollars. I can't remember
That's
how
the
much.
pro side of it. They get billions of
Yeah.
dollars to do what they need to do.
But they're giving
Yeah.
up 25%.
They're
of
giving up
the
a lot in the back end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So the private equity firms, they do the math calculations before this, and they basically say, okay, by year 5.
What
This is
would
what we're gonna
Bama
see.
trade for publicly? I'm curious. Like, what would be the valuation of Alabama sports?
I
Yeah.
think I think it'd be
Trillion?
$80 to $100 a share. I mean,
Well,
who
I'm
wouldn't
saying
buy it?
in billions, so market cap. Like, is it
Yeah.
a
Oh,
trillion,
I
a trillion
think it'd
dollar
be
company?
huge. I think it'd be huge. Yeah.
Is it
I
like
mean,
a
I
sports
agree with
team?
Steve here. Yeah.
Are they like a sports team? Like the Yankees? Meaning, do they have valuations like that? Possibly, right?
well,
Yeah, like
they would
again,
have to do
like
it
Dave,
as entire
that would
department.
depend on like the brand too, like Alabama football versus UConn football, you know?
Right.
But that they can't do it like that. They would have to do it by athletic department. So it would have to be the Alabama athletic department.
This is the biggest can of worms ever that the NCAA
Agreed.
opened.
I
Jesus.
agree.
Well, the good thing is Congress agreed to meet with them. Congress sees that it's a problem. However, they have much bigger things going on. And I found it hilarious that they still had the meeting while we're at war with Iran. They still
Hey,
had the meeting
Steve,
with Trump.
business around the country
I know
doesn't
business is
stop because
business.
there is a skirmish going on in the Middle East.
No. But Dave, do you think collectively, like the NFL, I look at it like this: the NFL negotiates collectively for TV rights. Okay, if
Yep.
the NFL were to split it up, okay, obviously the AFC East would command the most money, like the SEC. Probably the NFC North would command a lot of money. And if they did it like that, then you can see how the Big Ten and the SEC wind up with billion-dollar television contracts.
Exactly.
If you try to negotiate for 136 schools in however many 8 different conferences, is that
Yeah,
even
not happening.
possible?
It's
I mean, yeah, I mean,
I don't think it's possible.
I'm with
there's-
it, like,
there's the
and
group.
who wants to watch Utah State football too?
There's the group,
There's that.
Smash Sports Group, that is a third-party entity that would handle the negotiations, and they
Uh-huh.
say that the conferences would make more money if they negotiated as one. The Big Ten and the SEC want nothing to do with it.
Of
And
course
in
they
my
don't.
opinion, I don't believe that is a feasible answer. I think that cutting down and really regulating or controlling expenses for rev share for players, NIL deals for players, would be where you would start, because you're not going to take money out of their pockets from television contracts, from television deals. Half of them have already been signed through the 2030s. So it's
Yeah.
not like, I mean, you'd have to pay a penalty to get out of them. It'd be a shit show. So I think that the rev share, NIL deals, regulating those, and getting an antitrust exemption would be the first step to controlling it.
Yeah, it makes sense. They need to do something. So I'm with you on that, Steve. It's just
But
the players making the most money, like the players they need to be able to influence this, and they need those guys to get on board with it. And
well, that's the
those,
thing. They didn't have any players at the meeting. The players had no representation.
like I said, they have to do this at different levels though too.
They did it without any players present.
Ooh,
And
that's
you have to
rough.
remember
Okay.
that players are going to be changing every 4 to 9 years, apparently.
I know,
So
but no, at this point,
the CBA would be
no,
changing.
I hear you, but there's something that in my mind. With that being said, like, is it possible if this doesn't get sorted, we see a player strike? The players could do that. Like,
Um,
they could start, like, just start talking, start a group on Facebook. Like, that's an actual thing that could happen.
it
And
wouldn't
they could,
be a strike. It'd be like a walkout. Yeah, you're right. If they demanded more money, a bigger piece of the pie, because we don't know how much the
exactly.
players are being paid in relation. We know the NFL is 50-50. We know the
Yeah,
NBA is 50-50. We don't know what college football is, but we do know a lot of athletic departments are losing money. When you see
yeah.
Ohio State losing money, that
Wait,
should make you win.
Ohio State's losing money?
Was in the red this year, yes,
How did that happen?
because of how much they are paying
Paying
kids.
an NIL? Oh, wow.
Not an NIL, the rev share agreement, because schools can directly pay the players. There's a $20 million cap on athletic departments paying student athletes. 15
Okay.
million traditionally goes to football, and then
Okay.
men's and women's basketball, and then they give the rest to the other non-revenue sports. But
Yeah.
football traditionally gets the most. Most teams were spending more than the $20 million cap. This year, the
Yep.
cap is raised to 23 million.
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying it's going to continue to go up. It's going to be 30 million before we know it. And a lot of these athletic departments can't keep going back to the same donors saying, hey, we need 5 million this year. Hey, we need 5 million this year.
Yeah.
Hey, we need 10 million this year. So
Mhm.
that's why I say I don't think
Biggest
they
bag
can.
of war, like the biggest bag of worms the NCAA has ever opened.
Yeah, they did. And Dave, you remember we had Ambrose on and Lyndon Johnson on,
Yeah.
and they said 10 years ago they had this exact discussion. We're going to have to start paying players. Let's get ahead of it. Let's get ahead
Yeah.
of it now. Let's put a structure into place.
Yeah.
And they got shot down.
Yeah.
And, they were saying, freshmen shouldn't get paid coming in. They should have to prove their worth. Sophomore, junior, senior year, they can get paid. There were high school kids getting NIL deals, getting paid, who were committed to colleges. They were getting paid while still in high school, which was crazy because of the certain laws. So that's why I think it's a mess. I hope the sports summit continues and, they set another date. But Dave, I mean, realistically, this is unsalvageable. Don't you believe? I mean, do you think there's any way to salvage this situation without ruffling feathers with the players, either getting less money, the television contracts dropping, the schools, the athletic departments going in the
All
red
right,
or
just
having
so
to
you
cut
guys
sports?
realize, I'm calling it. We're probably gonna see a player strike. Just, I want this remembered.
That I mean, it'd be a walkout. It wouldn't be a strike because there's not a CBA. But yeah,
What?
I mean, you're right. You're right.
Whatever you want to call it.
I
Whatever you want to call it.
it could get to that point. But
Yeah.
I think the players are happy with what they're getting paid.
Right now, the players are happy with the situation. Yeah,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're making off like bandits.
it's the universities that are not.
Yes, because it's not
Well,
sustainable for them.
let them feel the pain for a while, as the players felt the pain for a long time.
Yeah, 100%
Well,
for 40 years.
I have no sympathy for these universities.
I
No.
agree with
But
Tyler on that one.
No, that's why I'm asking, Dave. Do you think that it's salvageable, or do you think it's just going to continue to get worse, and it's eventually going to be?
If I were to say, like, outside of people who like follow sports, like people like a lot of times people who played are kind of like overly invested in this stuff. I think the
yeah,
American public, like the regular American person, probably thinks I could care less. I could
I
care
agree.
less If the universities fail, they could care less. If I mean, most people would
Yeah.
still want to have their state universities there, someplace for them to go. But like a lot of these, it's
The
this is funny.
nonners, the nonners,
I'm very critical of
the shock troopers and the nonners.
I'm very critical of the Ivy League on a lot of things, but the Ivy League avoided all this because they
Yeah.
don't give NIL right now.
No, they don't. But they give hella financial aid packages.
They do. You can go for
They do
free if
that.
you're really that good. But
They do
but
that.
I think it's funny because they
And they do give scholarships for basketball.
no, they don't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. You don't
Do
think they
they?
give scholarship for
Ivy
basketball?
Leagues don't have scholarships.
I thought they did for basketball,
No,
but I digress. I will
Yeah.
check.
your information
I
is
mean-
incorrect once again.
Ivy League schools have
In fact, thank you, Christy. But do you think it's salvageable?
I was gonna say that Ivy League schools have their own problems, but
They
kinda don't give a
no,
fuck.
they have problems. They definitely have problems.
but
I just thought
But-
it was ironic with respect to sports because they don't care about sports
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're not financially they don't have a financial problem because
Oh
they don't
yeah,
do
you're
well.
right. They don't offer scholarships. Okay. So
Okay.
fuck me in the ass. Thanks
Remember
for
that,
checking.
Steve. Remember this, Steve. I take you. What's
Christy? You Christied me. Thank you.
I take what's
And
the stuff that
Joker.
RFK takes that he puts in his water that helps him? It's really
methylene
smart.
blue.
Yes, I take that. So just remember, my brain is on
what do
different
you
level
take?
from all the methylene blue.
Oh, the
I mean-
methylene blue.
I
Okay.
mean, I take alpha marine methylene blue.
Oh yeah. What do you take? Tell me what you take.
Cordyceps mushrooms, cordyceps mushrooms, lion's mane mushrooms, fish oil, and a
All great
toxifier. Yeah, but
What
yeah,
was the first thing you said you take? What was
Methylene blue.
Alpha Brand's a new chewable thing that's money.
Alpha brands? I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's Joe Rogan's.
Oh,
something from
Alpha
on it.
Brain. Alpha Brain?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, it's a
They
synthetic.
make a chewable one now. You get a bag of 90 for 25 on Amazon. So I just have it. Yeah, recurring.
It's
Have
used
you
for
ever heard of
treating cyanide poisoning.
What's
have
that?
you ever taken have you ever heard of
Oh, it is.
have you ever taken BPC 157 and
Yes.
does it work?
I noticed the difference. Also, like I actually listened to something from I think Ian Smith today about, actually I think it was Ian Smith about the purity levels of the labs and the regulation and which like
better.
brands were good. Exactly, and what you really get with certain brands, things like that. So there was a couple of those sites, right? He was talking about a couple of those sites where I'm going dark, like one by one. They're kind of
Oh,
yeah. So I mean, his lab's still active, and he has like really strict standards. So that's obviously why I was posting it. But no, I did notice a difference. Sorry for the long-winded answer.
yeah, no,
Peptides are a real
that's
thing.
great. Yeah. So that's-
Peptides are a real thing. I did help me recover from injuries a lot better. And I actually have been kind of craving doing another round of peptide therapy.
Oh,
I wonder if what about you ever heard of Semerlin or Semerlin or
Oh,
something?
100%. Yeah. I haven't really done a lot of research on Summerlin, but BBC
Can you give me a list of all
157.
these, please? I want to list all
Oh,
these.
Yeah,
no,
like
TB 500, BBC
500.
157. The other thing I did was get
I'm gonna order
platelet-rich
methylene blue
plasma
right
treatment
now.
in my shoulder. That helped a
The
lot.
plasma treatment.
What'd you get in
does
your
work,
shoulder?
The plasma
Plasma-
treatment.
Plasma. Did you go? Where'd you go for that?
Excuse me. Platelet-rich
The
plasma
platelet. The
injection.
platelet. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
use
That
your
work?
own. They use your own blood.
My-
Yes, it works.
Is my shoulder great? No, but it got structurally better, more functional.
Yeah, the platelet
Who
treatment
did you
is
go?
very
Did
good.
you? Who did you go?
I went to a doctor that we know from the athletic commission.
Oh, okay.
There's only
Yeah.
specialists.
Like
that
one
do
of my friends is on the
Tough to
athletic
find.
commission. We went to the doctor, and he heard about from the doctor that is on the athletic commission, and I was familiar with him as well. We went together, and both got shot up.
Yeah, that's. I'd love to get on my knee. I could use platelets on my knee.
His knee actually did improve. He actually got He got that. I think he got stem cell treatment as well.
Stem cell.
I didn't get stem cell, but I believe my friend got stem cell.
I wonder. Yeah, like do peptides
Well, I've noticed the difference in just
are awesome.
the
right,
supplement
give me a
regimen
list.
and the peptides, and I'm actually feeling pretty good. I trained every day. I've been training every day for the past 2 weeks now.
Yeah, give me a list of that. I want some of that.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. You don't know about methylene blue?
No,
I
I'm gonna order
you
some
don't know
right
about
now. I
I
just looked it
actually
up.
Dave, what kind are you using? Using capsules or chewable?
Well, it says there's
Methylene blue,
drops here.
the drops.
Oh, the
Yeah, but
drops?
yeah, it
Okay,
says
that
there's
Are
drops
those
here.
not good or?
I've heard I've looked at a few things, but I haven't organized or read anything about it.
Supports
I just
mood,
wanted
focus, memory. Wow.
I think I'm gonna order some of the chewables
The
when I
the
run out of the
first time I
capsule.
took methylene blue, I um
I heard you might do it.
I didn't read the
All the highest rated
like
ones are the
I
drops.
didn't scale it up. I started too high
Yeah,
and I was having a little bit of an issue, but then the second time I did it, which I've been doing it for a while now, I scaled it. I did one drop, then
yeah.
two drops, because your brain like the first
Oh,
couple, like,
okay.
if you don't scale it, your
Yeah,
brain's like
it's like that limitless drug that
you're like limitless, but yeah,
yeah,
you're like limitless, and then you could have issues when you sleep and stuff.
then you crash, yeah,
You should
or you
scale it
don't
up. Okay.
sleep. Yeah.
So
No,
I
about
scaled it. I took one drop, then two drops, then eventually got to the 5 or 6. I think
I've
you
just
said.
been taking 2 capsules once a day.
Oh, okay.
And you take them in the morning,
My
right?
friend gave it to me months ago, and I still haven't gotten through it. Once I get through it, I'm gonna go to the chewables.
All right. So before we
That's
take
why
off
we're
here,
geniuses, Steve.
yeah,
Yeah,
I know, and I got to get fact checked. Go fuck yourselves.
It,
I
So
hope we all
you
get
you
fact
would
checked.
Methylene blue would probably be good for you, Steve.
yeah,
Oh,
I'm ordering it
yeah.
right now. I'm ordering it right now.
Or the
So
chewables, how they are.
okay. Uh, War in Iraq or Iran.
Yeah,
Are we decimating them? Do we get their
I hope
unconditional
not.
surrender by next week?
I hope we get a moderate Persian leader, and we
We're not
get
going to get a
unconditional
Persian leader.
surrender, and
I don't think
we
Trump wants a Persian
install
leader.
that moderate Persian leader. That
Dave,
I
what
mean
are
that was my favorite point of the entire show, Dave. I
Dave?
think that
What
would
are
be a great
Persian
idea.
Persian leaders? Persians. What is
I
their
don't know if they have
religion?
a Persian, if there's a Persian
Yeah,
leader. I'm just saying that
No,
would
I'm
be
saying what
the
is their
way
religion? Persians.
that
Christian.
right now they're
They're
widely considered as
okay.
what are they? What are
Christian,
they?
you said.
Christian, yeah,
Okay.
but they're widely right now considered non-religious because they're under communist
Non-secular.
regime,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
So
So
they
they're not
can't be
going to
religious.
come out and be their
Right.
exactly. They're not going to be able to say they're religious. Correct.
Right. And
yeah.
for Putin, Putin's been at war with Ukraine for 4 years. He hasn't been able to defeat them. So Putin's not as smart as you think he is. He can't take out Ukraine. So Tyler,
Yeah.
again, 1 week from
Great
now,
job, Tyler.
are we still at war with Iran, or have they unconditionally surrendered?
I have a feeling that we that's very feasible.
Yeah, we'll see.
Very feasible.
All right. Well, a banner rebel republic. Great job, Tyler. What do you smell that's so bad?
What? Me.
You keep. Oh well, yeah. You always smell bad.
Ah, he spelled himself. That's
Yeah, well,
great.
he keeps putting under. He's checking himself. It's great.
Oh, he's checking.
I'm also just tired too, so hey.
All right. Well, for the coach,
Yeah, I'm ordering myself Alpha Brain right now.
Dave Schumann.
Get the chewables.
Chewable? Oh, let me see.
Go on Amazon and the chewables is like a 90 count bag. You take 3 a day.
Yeah.
I take 3 a day, twice a day.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some ketamine too. We got to get some ketamine going.
Ketamine?
Yeah,
You
you
could
get legal
What, you want
ketamine.
to go into a K-hole?
No, I saw it online.
Steve,
you get ketamine.
Steve,
I want to get some
no,
ketamine.
you need
Let's get some special K
ketamine
roll.
therapy. You go to a therapist who gives you ketamine.
No, I read
and
on
you have
here
a
you can
therapy
get it sent to
session.
your house. You get it sent to your house.
Yeah, Steve, don't do that.
We're gonna
Yeah,
do Rebel
you'll
on
be in the
ketamine.
you'll be in the K hole. I've seen people in the club in the K hole back in the day.
We're gonna do Rebel
The
on.
people in the K
Tyler,
hole.
stop
It'd
smelling
be like
yourself.
this.
I'm
It'd be like
sorry.
this.
I'm wiping
Stop
my
smelling
mouth
yourself,
and hiding my
goddammit.
face because you're talking about ketamine.
No, we're gonna do the show on ketamine. We're gonna get
No,
ketamine doses.
I'm not doing.
We're all
I am not doing a
Rebel
show
on ketamine.
on ketamine. I am not doing that.
All right. Well,
If I ever do ketamine, it will be with a licensed therapist.
no. Stop saying that. All right. Coach Human, Tyler King, all he does is train, teach class, beat that ass,
And go to sleep.
pound it vigorously into the ground afterwards.
And then go
Crown
to sleep.
Sports and Entertainment.
Oh.
Steve Tully, best podcast host in the universe. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges, throw them back at life. And I'm Steve
Oh,
Tully.
God, I'm tired. Oh,
I am running for Congress